AITA not tell my daughter that I was in an accident? My daughter, 28F, and I, 56F, have a tough relationship. I take the blame for all this. When she told me she was a lesbian at 15, I didn't react well. I didn't kick her out of the house or do anything else. But I said terrible things. And our relationship, which was wonderful, turned into barely talking. My husband woke me up 2 years after she came out, and I started trying to improve my thoughts, my prejudices, and try to understand all of this better. But our relationship was already badly damaged because of me. I apologized to her for the things I said. We had a heart-to-heart conversation, and she was very sincere in saying when she will leave the house, she would cut off contact with me, because despite accepting my apology, she no longer trusted me as someone who she wants around. I accepted this, and after going to college she actually cut off 95% of contact with me, and I tried to get closer or go to therapy together. But she refused. So I respected it. We even had some contact while my husband was alive because she attended the end-of-year parties. But after he passed away 3 years ago, if we talked 3 times, she didn't want to talk, and I respected that, because I'm aware of what I did. 2 weeks ago, I was in a car accident and I broke 2 ribs, my arm, and had several scratches on my body. It was nothing too serious. I'm recovering well and I have help at home. I didn't say anything to my daughter, because we don't talk and she live 8h away. She called me yesterday, asking if I had really been in an accident, and when I confirmed, she started to argue with me, saying, I shouldn't know this kind of thing from my cousin, but from you. I was honest here and said that we haven't talked in months. Almost a year. I'm respecting what she asked, and I thought this was a topic she wasn't interested. She started to say that even though we didn't talk, I had to tell her this type of information because she was my daughter and the only immediate family, and not hide it from her. She's upset with me. But today I received a bag from the pharmacy with pain medication and other things from her. I'm feeling bad, but I'm also doing what she asked, which is that we have no contact. AITA? NTA for not telling your daughter. You're right, you were abiding by her wish not to be in contact with you. How are you supposed to know that there's a threshold of info she wants if she never communicated that to you? Thank your daughter for her concern and for the package, and for thinking of you. Don't forget to tell her that you're so glad she reached out, even if she's angry, because you've missed her. If you reach out with a little warmth, maybe she'll reciprocate, and if you both can do that, maybe your relationship will start to improve. Yeah, ignoring everything in the past here and judging on the present. NTA. She is the one who maintained a no-contact relationship. You've respected her wishes for years on this and kept your distance at her request. It's ridiculous for her to scold you for doing as she requested. You can't be faulted for respecting her wishes. She can't change the rules and then play the victim after the fact. It sounds like there is no winning for you here. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. She's gonna be upset either way. 'Cause you contacted her after being told not to. Or you didn't contact her. You're not a mind reader to determine what contact is acceptable for her, depending on what rules she's established that day. It seems to me she felt guilty for being so low contact with you that she had to learn you were in an accident from a third party. So she turned that guilt on you. You can't read her mind or her heart. I think you two really would have benefited from therapy. Maybe suggest it again to her? Just to avoid more misunderstandings. She has to be clear what kind of relationship she wants with you, because she already knows what kind of relationship you want with her. I received a bag from the pharmacy with pain medication and other things from her. Just from this I'm in between NA and NTA. It looks like even she isn't clear on what she wants to do. She could have been all talk but she wasn't. But she needs to be willing to communicate with you instead of assuming you know what she expects from you. Edited for format and misspelling. NTA I'm ignoring past mistakes because we're all human and you're trying to do and be better. And honestly it doesn't have any bearing on current events. She doesn't want contact and you are respecting her wishes. I have a feeling this would have been a now-in situation for you. If you had told her, she either wouldn't have answered the phone or she would have complained about not respecting her boundaries. I feel like she's only upset because she heard about from her cousin and was embarrassed that she didn't know something important about her mother. IDK maybe take this opportunity to see if she would be open to more than a yearly phone call. NTA, nah, it sounds like you are respecting your daughter's wishes. So absolutely NTA on that part. It sounds like your daughter has some conflicting thoughts about you. You obviously hurt her deeply in the past. But it's also obvious that, even thought she does not talk with you, she still cares about you. This might, maybe if both sides want it, be a catalyst to ask her, when do you want to hear from me? And what would it be appropriate information to share with you? It asks a genuine question, but also puts the impetus back on her. She initiated the no contact. But now she has the control to change it if she would like. NTA I wouldn't tell them either. My thought process would be, they want space and me telling them this will seem like I'm trying to make them feel pity. Not telling them was probably the best thing you did. You were genuinely trying to respect her boundaries. And if you just take your time with her she'll get over what happened and you can reunite. NTA. She set her boundaries and you respected them. Her expectations are unreasonable with those boundaries. She can't have it both ways. NTA to be kind to your daughter. I think this might have been a come-to-Jesus moment. When someone is in a serious accident there is a sort of they could have died. I think you should be flexible as this may be a chance to improve your relationship with your daughter. I'd say something like this. Firstly, I want to thank you for the bag. It was very thoughtful and I appreciate it. I want to apologize for not telling you about the accident. I guess I didn't think you'd think about me as immediate family. I know in the past I did things that forever destroyed our relationship, which I deeply regret. I can't change the past, so my focus has been on honoring your current wishes. I thought I was doing that. My new understanding is you would like to be reached out to immediate should a major health-related incident happen, like an accident of a diagnosis. If I am wrong, or if that changes, please let me know. My only goal is to make sure I have a complete understanding of your wishes and to minimize misunderstandings on my part. I don't want to hurt you again because of a misunderstanding on my part, and again I'm sorry for doing so. This made me sad. NTA. She wanted minimal contact and made that clear several times. That's what she has. Part of that means that she's going to find out about things like this via third parties and late. She can't have it both ways. I'm not sure there is a black and white answer to this. You have a difficult family dynamic and you were trying to respect boundaries that had been in place previously. I'd say neither of you are the asshole here. I was kept out of the loop for a lot of my family issues lately, but I understand they wanted to keep me unburdened about it. It was frustrating, but it makes sense for a parent to do for their adult offspring. Tell her thank you, instead of tit for tat trying to figure out who is in the wrong. Move forward a little. Nah, I wish my mom would do what you've done in terms of educating and growing as person when I came out. And when I asked for space she didn't listen, but you did. That says a lot about you and the respect and humility you have in honoring your daughter's boundaries. Your daughter may be feeling scared with the realization that she may have lost you in the car accident. Maybe having complicated feelings with the pain of your first rejection. Not having her father anymore. Keeping the door to relationship with you closed even though you've tried to come back to make amends. Missing you. Awkwardness of just being disconnected for so long, etc. This could be an opportunity to connect again. Even if it's not a full reconnection but just getting on the same page about what being in each other's lives look like now. Life has changed a lot for both of you. Nah, I think the lines of communication just opened up a little. Be kind, gentle and compassionate with one another. Speaking as the child who's NC with their parent. Nah, I completely get where she's coming from and why she's upset. I've felt those feelings. My dad was hospitalized and I didn't find out until after he was released and like 2 months later. I was super upset no one told me. Not because I wanted to visit him but because I don't want to find out he died long after the fact. My family was respecting the fact that I'm NC and so was he. I worked out with my sibling that they'll let me know when they find out stuff like this about him. I know on the other side it probably feels and seems irrational, but I still love him even though he's an abusive alcoholic. Emotions aren't rational and you're not wrong for not telling her. Nah, and I only say this because it's such an awful situation for everyone involved from start to finish. And I say that in the nicest way possible. I feel for you all. I can completely understand why you wouldn't tell her. But I can also completely understand why she's upset. We're always learning as people. And no one can get everything right. Whatever the situation. Nah, you were respecting her wishes by not telling her, which is understandable. However, I do empathize with her that if it's something super serious regarding your health, she still would probably want to know that. I think most of us can understand that. I've been in an accident that broke some ribs, and, hey, how are you today? Are two different levels of communication. While she may not be interested in having a casual friendly relationship with you, understandably on her part, I'm sure she still cares about your overall health and well-being and would want to know if something regarding that happens. You definitely weren't in the wrong. But maybe moving forward understand that based off her reaction, she doesn't want to be your friend. But she will always be your daughter. Hope that makes sense. Nah, I don't think your daughter had a wake-up call from consequences, as those consequences are from you being a terrible mother to her. Nor should she feel shame. But I think you did what you thought was best in maintaining no contact. NTA. She went no contact. It's up to her to pick up the rope again. You were respecting her wishes. If my dad, who I am absolutely no contact with, reached out to tell me he got in an accident of any level of severity, I wouldn't be comfortable, and especially if it was nothing major, it would feel manipulative and just cement my already concluded assessment that he's manipulative and doesn't understand boundaries. If your daughter is upset at hearing secondhand that is 100 on her, literally what low contact looks like. This is difficult. My mom is an alcoholic and has done things to me that forced no contact. My biggest fear was no one telling me if she was hurt, sick. I always hoped if she got hurt or sick, she would reach out or her boyfriend would. I didn't go no contact because I didn't love her. It was simply because the relationship wasn't healthy. She was hurting me, my growth and my health. I let her know when I was getting procedures out of respect, and she said some hateful things. I let it go. So really it depends on the dynamic of each relationship. Not one of our comments will mean much because each relationship, each no contact, is different in its own way. It sounds like there is still love with you and your daughter, but you hurt her deeply with your reactions to who she is as a person. You may not want to tell people what all you said, but you have to accept that sorry isn't enough. And sometimes damage can't be undone. But you know her wishes and she is your child. So if you're okay with her wishes, why not go along with them? If she is your only child and wishes to know if you've been hurt, have it set up for her to receive that info. Maybe one day she will be ready to talk or mend whatever relationship is left. Maybe not. It's already had enough coming out. It's even harder having the people you love not accept you or say horrid things to you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.